Conflict happens. It's a normal part of leading a team, but handling it well, that's what separates good managers from the great ones. Conflict isn't something that you can or even should always avoid. In fact, the way you handle it can define your team's culture and the results that your team delivers. Let's get into specific actionable strategies you can use to navigate conflict more confidently, whether it's disagreements over tasks or clashes between personalities that creates tension when you're in the same space. By the end of this, you'll have more practical tools to apply right away that can make a real difference in how you manage conflict as a manager. Not all conflicts are the same, and that's actually a good thing. When you can spot the difference between the types of conflict, it becomes easier to handle them in a way that benefits everyone involved. There's a couple types of conflicts that we want to look at, and the first is task conflict. Task conflict is when team members disagree on how to approach a project or to solve a problem. If managed well, it can push people to think more creatively and lead to better results. And then there is personal conflict. Personal conflict is when the tension between people goes beyond the work at hand and becomes about how they relate to each other. But this kind of conflict, if addressed early, can also be an opportunity to strengthen relationships and build collective understanding. So the key for managers is recognizing which type of conflict that you're actually dealing with. Once you understand that, you'll be able to apply the right strategy and move things forward smoothly. When it comes to managing conflict as a manager, it's not about being a referee, it's about serving as a coach. It's about helping them find their solutions, guiding them through challenges, and building trust all along the way. Keep watching because I'm going to share a few strategies that will help you take on the role of a coach during conflict. But first, make sure to grab our free resource to help you take your talent development strategy to the next level using the link in the description. In this free guide, you'll find out how to quickly personalize growth to the individual strengths and needs of your people. Develop human skills fast enough to solve business problems. Improve the ROI of your development programs. Download the guide now and start building the skills that your team needs to succeed. So the first tip to help you coach your team through conflict is to create space for open conversations. A good manager knows that resolving conflict starts with giving people space to talk. Encourage open communication in your team, where people feel safe to express their concerns and ideas. Whether the conflict is about handling a task or personal differences, when people feel heard, they're more likely to work through the issues constructively. Tip number 2 is to focus on solutions, not blame. As a manager, your role isn't to point fingers, it's to keep the team focused on finding a solution. Whether it's a disagreement over the best way to move a project forward or something more personal, help your team see that resolving the conflict is about improving the outcome for everyone, not proving who's right. The third tip to help you manage conflict as a manager is to guide with questions. In coaching, the goal is to help others figure out things for themselves. When conflict arises, ask questions that push your team to think critically and to consider different perspectives. Instead of jumping in with the answer, you can help guide them with open-ended questions like, what could we do differently? Or how do we make this work for everyone? Okay, the fourth tip is to understand personalities and address tensions before they escalate. Conflict between people often goes deeper than just disagreeing about how to perform a task or complete a project. It can be about the way people communicate or the underlying motivations that are driving their behavior. To handle personal conflict well, start by understanding what's behind it. And there are a few ways to go about this. One is you want to recognize different communication styles. Every team member has a unique way of communicating, and misunderstandings can easily arise when these styles don't align amongst individuals. But it's important to take the time to understand how each of your team members prefers to interact. Another thing you want to do is be aware of the underlying motivations. Sometimes what may seem to be a personality clash is really about deeper motivations or unmet needs. Understanding these motivations can help you get to the root of the conflict. You also want to recognize strengths in people and use them as a bridge to collaboration. One of the most effective ways to resolve personal conflict is by focusing on strengths. When you help people see how their differences can complement each other, it helps shift the focus from what's going wrong to how they can work better together. For example, if one person is great at big picture thinking and the other is more detail oriented, frame the differences as a way to cover all the bases rather than making it a source of conflict. Use automated coaching tools to help you understand your people with insights into your team's communication styles, strengths, and areas for growth. This deeper level of understanding can help you proactively manage conflict by understanding where tensions might arise before they even do. As a manager, it's about helping each person appreciate the differences in their teammates and finding ways to make those differences work for the team, not against it. Okay, the fifth tip is to keep the team's goal in focus. A great manager always brings the team back to the big picture. When conflicts arise, it's easy to get lost in disagreements, but focusing on the common goal can help everyone see that they're really on the same side. With the right approach, it can actually make your team stronger. Okay, let's recap the key strategies we covered. Create space for open conversations. Focus on solutions, not blame. Guide with questions. Help your team find their own solutions by asking thoughtful questions instead of solving the problem for them. Understand personalities and prevent tension. Get to the root of personal conflict by understanding communication styles and motivations. And lastly, keep the team's goal in focus. Always remind your team of the bigger picture that everyone's working towards. The next time conflict comes up in your team, think of yourself as a coach who gets to guide them towards better understanding and collaboration. Navigating conflict is an ongoing skill that managers can improve with time and practice. And that's where the right tools can really make a difference. Automated coaching can help you develop these coaching skills and better understand your team's unique strengths and communication styles. With personalized coaching tips available on demand about you and the people you work with, you'll be equipped to work through any conflict that comes your way. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you found this helpful, be sure to watch this next video too.